So what I will do is I will take this tool, the fettling knife, and I will cut a section of this out. You really only need as much as about the palm of your hand. The other way to do it is just to rip a nice chunk of the clay out. Okay, this is a good amount here. And then I will place it inside the bag. The next thing that I will do is take some water. You can do this by opening up the water spray bottles at your table, or you can simply go over to the sink. I usually add about the same to half as much water as I have clay, if you can see that there. And then I will make sure to properly, pushing a little bit of the air out, close the bag using the Ziploc. It's also important that you spray the clay down, and every time that you close it, you put the lid on tight, or you take the bag, push any air out, twist it, and tuck it underneath so that the clay that's within the bag will stay wet for the next person. Now, this will be taken over to your shelf and left in a safe spot. And what will happen is, I have a different type of clay that I've already done this with. The water will penetrate into the clay, turning it into more of a mud shape. And the next day we can take it off the shelf and begin to kind of massage the clay and the water together. You should get a consistency of a toothpaste or pudding, and that's a good slip to attach pieces with. If you are in a pinch and this particular method is too slow for you because you forgot to prepare ahead, put on a mask and follow the directions that I'm about to give in this next video I will attach here. So the first thing I do is I use dried up clay. This is if you want to make slip that is like, I need slip right now. The other way to make slip is to take wet clay, put it into a little baggie with as much water as there is clay, and just let it sit. In fact, I might even do half as much water. If you let it sit overnight and then mash it up, it'll turn into slip. But most of the time, people say, I need slip and I need it right now. I just ran out and I need it now. So you would grab a rolling pin, which we keep in this bucket here, and you would start off almost like a chef. You're going to chop it up, okay? So the big pieces get chopped first. And you'll notice there is a lot of dust that is made. So many times what we'll do is we'll put on a mask to protect ourselves. Would you like mask? Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to start rolling. We want this to turn into a type of powder, because then what will happen is it will melt into the water very quickly and be easier to mix. And the goal is to get this to a pudding or toothpaste consistency, okay? And if I move this around, it's going to force the bigger chunks to be smashed better. That's why I keep moving it, and I'm turning, and I'm spreading it out. because this is on this canvas table, some of it gets a little bit stuck into there, which is all right. Now I'm going to take and bring it into a pile. I'm trying to keep the dust down because dust, when it gets in your lungs, your lungs will either cough it up, and if it's too deep, they'll form scar tissue around it. And when it forms scar tissue, your lungs can't give oxygen to your blood anymore. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
There's no oxygen exchange for that area where the scar tissue is. So that's why you have to be careful at different jobs. You have to wear masks. So we're going to place this in our bag, and then we're going to add at least half as much water as there is clay. So we're going to start out with about half as much water, and we're going to see what kind of consistency we're getting. And it feels pretty thick. It feels like I'm going to need more water. So I'm going to dump some more in. I'm going to push the air out, close the bag. And then I'm just going to kind of hang out for a couple minutes and get any of the chunks out that I can. Until it feels like a pudding or a toothpaste consistency. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. We turn this crazy thing.